Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Joe Morley Sports Show. I'm Joe Morley. I have a special guest with me, Shawn from CMon Man Sports. If you guys don't watch CMon Man Sports, you need to get over there. They have their own podcast, Instagram. You guys have your YouTube, right?
Yeah, we have a YouTube. We just post clips up on YouTube right now, but we're going to start going live from YouTube.
Okay, so there you go. You guys heard it from Shawn. They're going to get – so go follow them right now. Subscribe to that so you can get when they start getting that going, you're already there. You already got the notifications that they're going, right?
Yeah.
So, Shawn, you have a partner. You and Renee do you guys' videos, your podcast, everything together. So I wanted to kind of get you guys separated so people can get to know you more. So kind of tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. My background in sports especially is, I played high school football, high school baseball, and then I joined the military, and I was sent overseas, and I actually got picked up by a semi-pro team. Well, semi-pro here, pro there, football team, played pro football over there. Overall, I just love sports, always have loved sports since I was a little kid, and it's really cool to be able to, bring that passion back, because I was overseas for 3 years, so I was kind of out of the loop. You still can watch the sports, but a football game is on at 2 a.m. in Japan. You know what I mean? So it's good to be back and reignite that flame that I once had, and it's helped me kind of adjust to being a civilian again too.
Well, that's good to know, and I appreciate your service, man. Everybody has to appreciate the service that you guys put in, to go away from your family for all that time. It has to be hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It is. That's the hardest part.
So I know you and I share the same baseball team.
Yeah.
We're Dodgers fans, right?
Yeah, go Dodgers. Go Dodgers.
So
it's our year this year.
This should be their year, right? I'm hoping Kershaw don't break down by playoff time. 60-game season. What are you thinking about the 60-game season?
I mean, for the Dodgers, in my opinion, it's a big help because we seem to just kind of run out of gas. I've always said it, even on the podcast, everyone says that Kershaw chokes. I think he just runs out of gas. The man, wins 20 games a year. He's pitching like crazy, 7, 8, 9 innings deep in all these games. So I feel like he's going to be well-rested for the playoffs, and the entire team's going to be well-rested for the playoffs. And we have a deadly lineup this year. Adding Mookie Betts is just like, who are you going to pitch to at this point?
See, I tried to go through earlier and see who they were going to have as a DH, and I'm like, just pick one. There's like 5 or 6 guys that you could pick to be a DH.
Yeah, anyone.
So if anybody was ready for the universal DH, it was the Dodgers.
It was the Dodgers, yeah. We got a home run hitter all the way through the bench.
Is there a dark horse team that you wouldn't be surprised if they took it?
Well, my dark horse team is the Angels, and I publicly said that I predict it to be a Dodgers-Angels World Series. That's just because they got a bunch of guys. Maybe overall the roster, when you look at it, isn't this super star-studded roster the Yankees and Astros have. They got a bunch of guys where if they catch heat at the end of the season and into the playoffs, they can make a run. And, Rendon was a part of that, so he's got experience of doing it. And Albert Pujols has experience doing it with the Cardinals and stuff. Mike Trout needs to win a World Series. So I'll take them as my dark horse. I actually have them going to the World Series this year. It's kind of a bold pick.
So you took the Angels. I took the Oakland A's. I'm not sure if baseball would be so happy about that, just because I'm sure they would like an East Coast team.
Yeah.
But I'll take either one of those matchups. I'll watch it.
Yeah, that Freeway Series, the Freeway World Series would be awesome.
So, yeah, that it would be as long as the Dodgers come out on top, because I do not want to hear it from the Angel fans. That'd be like the worst thing to hear all year from Angel fans.
And the Angel fans would be coming out of everywhere. So they didn't exist.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we are LA's team now. Like, really, you still don't pay taxes in LA.
Right. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim or Los Angeles team.
Yeah, whatever they feel like claiming, whatever city they feel like claiming, that's what I'll give them. That's why I usually just say, "Oh, the Angels," because I don't know what they want to be.
Yeah, they just keep going back and forth.
So the NFL season. So we already got your baseball picks. Let's try to sneak in some NFL right now.
I love me some football.
Huh?
I love me some football.
Oh, yeah. I'm hearing July 29th. July 29th should be the day they go to training camp. When that day comes, we'll see. That's when we'll actually see.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Who's your football team?
I'm a Chargers fan, and it's not just because they're Los Angeles. I was a fan of them when they were in San Diego also. So we got a little rivalry here, Raiders, Chargers.
Well, I don't know if you could consider it a rivalry because you guys only have – you're probably like what, one of maybe 15 fans that they have?
I think I counted 17 total in my Google search.
I think they're more alive because I get hit up a lot on our pages or on my Twitter from Charger fans. It's like I think I met more online than anywhere else. Like I've been to the Charger games. I've been to San Diego and stuff, and it's like you guys weren't there. Nobody was there.
Yeah, it's funny. I went to a Thursday night football game in Qualcomm. It was a Broncos versus Chargers, and it was a lot of fun. But it was a color rush night, so everyone had color rush jerseys on. Everyone in the stands. It was just all orange. There was like a couple Chargers fans there.
Wow.
We won though. The Chargers won that night. That was the Trevor Siemian Broncos. So
it works out then. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not buying Tyrod Taylor this year. I mean, as a Charger fan, what do you think about Tyrod Taylor?
Man, I feel for Tyrod because I feel like he's another transition situation. We'll see how we do. The first 5 weeks, we have a tough schedule. I think we see the Chiefs, Bucks, and another tough team in the first 5 weeks where it's like, you guys probably going to be 2-3 at least, maybe 1-4. And if we're sitting there at 1-4 going into week 5, then we play 4 easy teams. I think we see you guys, Jaguars, Jets, and I think it's the Dolphins or something like that. Maybe not easy, but about our level. That's the time to throw in Justin Herbert if we're 1-4 or 2-3. But if Tyrod does good through that tough start of the schedule, then of course Tyrod's going to play the rest of the season.
See, I was generous when I did it for my prediction for the Chargers this year, and I said 7-9 was my prediction. It's still 4th place in the division, and Charger fans like came out at me like, "Hey," I was like, "I gave you 2 more wins than you had last year." with all the losses that you guys have. I said, I'm just more – I think the Chargers defense has to be top 5, top 3 maybe on paper at least.
It's just whether or not they gel. That's the thing is our roster overall, we have a good running back. We have good receivers. We have a good tight end. Our defense at every single position, we have someone good. We're just missing a quarterback, and the Chargers get injured every year, man. It's a thing. It's a curse. Something happens to someone every year. So we'll see how everyone meshes together. I think this year is a transition period into the next couple seasons. And if Justin Herbert is legit, watch out for the Chargers. I know we're with the Chiefs in that division, but that's all we're missing is a good quarterback right now.
And they could have had Cam.
Yeah, man. I'm upset about that.
Hey, like
we could have had Cam.
I didn't want to see
I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was almost guaranteed we were getting Cam.
I didn't want to see it as a Raider fan, but I thought for sure you guys had Tom Brady coming. And then I was like, okay, they're waiting for Cam.
Yeah.
And then lost both of them. I'm like, okay.
Emotional roller coaster. And my take on it is if we're just gonna have Tyrod play while we wait for Justin to get ready, why don't we just have Phillip playing while we wait for Justin Herbert to get ready?
Yeah, you already had the camaraderie there.
Yeah,
and you were so close to getting Tua, so close. Like right there,
break after break after break after break.
It is what it is. I'm an Oregon fan, so I like Justin Herbert, and I think I don't know if he'll be like a top-notch quarterback, but I think he'll be good enough where he could carry that team. And really, with that defense, you should just don't make mistakes, and you should be able to win a couple games.
Yeah, that's probably why the Chargers fans are getting on you so hard because with the defense, Tyrod Taylor is just kind of a keep the ball in the offense's hand guy. So a good combo, Tyrod Taylor and a good defense is usually a successful combination. Tyrod Taylor's style of quarterback, at least.
Yeah. All right. I like that. I like a little bit of faith, but not a lot of faith in the Chargers this year. But you never know.
I'm prepared for either.
Well, as long as they don't beat the Raiders, I'm good with that. And I think if I remember right, they did go 0-6 in division last year, right?
I'm not 100% certain, but we lost probably. We lost the Chiefs and the Raiders twice. Yeah, we went 0-6 in division last year.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe get one win, and then we can get the Chargers up there, and then maybe we can get the Charger fans talking again. Get that first win. Hopefully, it's not against the Raiders, but maybe beat the Broncos or
Yeah.
something.
Our goals every year is just go 1-1 versus all those teams because the division's so tough every year.
I think it's one of the best divisions in the NFL. Has
I
to
think
be.
it's like consistently a really good division.
Yeah.
10 years, 10 plus years, you know.
So you and I both do fantasy football, and Renee,
Yeah.
he does fantasy football. We're always doing mock drafts with a couple other podcasters. And that's the thing to do. You know, just get as many as mock drafts as you can. Always tell people try different things. Don't always take the same pick. Don't always take the same players. Try new players. And I'm sure you do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw 5 guys at you. 5 names. Your opinion. It doesn't matter what the annual, the average draft position is right now on them.
Yeah.
It's just where you would target them or where you would tell people to target them, and we'll see if we kind of match up there.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll start with an easy one of Patrick Mahomes. I say it's easy, but it's still kind of tough one.
So I personally stay away from quarterbacks in the beginning, but the only quarterback this year I really take a risk on is Lamar Jackson, just because he is a running back also. But I still think it's a big risk considering that he is a quarterback. So teams are going to be ready for him to run now. They're going to force him to throw, and if he's not up there, and we know he's not the best passer compared to guys like Patrick Mahomes, that could be scary still. So I probably would stay off Patrick Mahomes in the first couple rounds, but I know I'd probably be okay with taking him in 3 or 4, just because he's going to be a lot above other quarterbacks other than Lamar. So I wouldn't take the second quarterback off the board in round 3. You know what I mean?
See, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I don't take quarterbacks early, and I think you've seen that in a couple of mock drafts that I've been in there with you. I don't like it, but if I did have to target one of these guys, one of the top guys, it would have to be 3rd round. But I mean, I've seen Mahomes go 1st round one time. I'm like, really? I think he went 4th overall one time in one of the mock drafts. I was like,
wow.
Oh
man.
I guess it's good to see it because you never know. But I wouldn't want that guy in my league. I wouldn't want that. I mean, you can donate all your money or whatever you want to do, but I wouldn't want you in my league.
I'll tell you what, whoever's got the 5th pick in that situation where they're getting like Saquon or Alvin Kamara are probably real ecstatic.
You would think, yeah. Now here's one I had a good conversation with a couple guys about Mike Evans. Where would you see Mike Evans and going?
You know what? Originally, I had Chris Godwin ranked above Mike Evans in my own personal rankings, but with all the tight ends they brought in, and then there's been reports that Bruce Arians, Tom Brady have had discussions that they want to do 2 tight end, 3 tight end sets almost every play. So what that means for Chris Godwin is he comes off the field. Mike Evans stays in the field, because he's obviously the number 1 receiver. So I think that brings Mike Evans above Chris Godwin, brings Mike Evans back into like a top 5 conversation. So I'll take him in round 2. If I saw him in round 2, that'd be a good pick. I got him in round 2 in one of the mock drafts. I had him and DeAndre Hopkins as my 2 receivers.
Yeah, I would say round 2, late first, round 2. But that's where I question people like, and you already answered that. Like, would you take Godwin above him? And you already said no. If it was between Mike Evans and Godwin, you would go Mike Evans.
I'm going Mike Evans just because of the fact that I see how many tight ends they have. They're going to put those guys on the field, and that just means Chris Godwin's going to get less snaps, less chances to score compared to Mike Evans, especially in the goal line. They're going to put all these tight ends on the field. Chris Godwin is going to be out in the red zone. He's going to be on the side.
No, it is what it is. I mean, you did your research,
Yeah.
And plus he's the bigger target.
Yeah.
And you got to think Brady's going to like the bigger target. I put that out the other day that I think he's a top 5 wide receiver, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
That's
probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah.
Now this one, you see it a lot. You've been in this conversation a lot about Chris Carson. Do you think Chris Carson is still worthy of a top round pick? Not first or not first or second, because we both agree that he's not probably going first or second. But do you think that he will be affected by Carlos Hyde or anything like that? And where would you target him at?
I like Chris Carson as a running back. He just can't stay healthy. I actually got in one of our mock drafts also. So the strategy I had used, I didn't really use a strategy, just kind of who was the best receiver or running back available, basically. So in round 1, all the elite running backs were gone, so I took DeAndre Hopkins. In round 2, all the second-tier running backs were gone, so I took Mike Evans. And then, now I'm looking in round 3 and 4, this is where I'm looking at Chris Carson, because you're taking a chance at having him as your RB1. But, they're high risk, high reward. But in that situation where it's 3, 4, 5, all those running backs are kind of similar. So you can go 3, 4, 5, all running backs, and probably get guys to back him up that also can give out same production as Chris Carson. So I'm looking at 3 or 4 if he slides back for Chris Carson, especially if I'm getting 2 receivers back to back. If I already have a running back, maybe I'm thinking, receiver at that point. But
yeah, he's a good option if you went receiver first round. I like him, and I don't think Carlos Hyde is going to take a lot away from him. I think they're going to be a good 1-2 punch. Yeah. I think Pete Carroll will use him correctly and still get him enough carries. But like you said, he needs to stay healthy and try not to fumble the ball.
Yeah, and you can get Carlos Hyde or Rashad Penny way late in the draft and handcuff them. That's an easy one to handcuff because people aren't really drafting them too much.
Yeah, I haven't really been seeing them go either. So yeah. I think I saw Carlos Hyde get drafted one time, but people might be sleeping on him as well.
Yeah, you can just handcuff him to Chris Carson, so that way if Chris Carson does get hurt, boom, you got Carlos Hyde or Rashad Penny, whichever guy's the starter at that point.
So this guy, I think people are now, they used to overrate him. Now they're underrating him. I got him in the 8th round a couple of drafts ago, and I was very surprised by it. It was Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, man, I agree with you.
I mean, I look at him and I go, okay, maybe his touchdowns weren't as good, but the Browns struggled in the red zone under Kitchens, and everybody knows that. But where do you see Odell? Where do you see him going?
I agree with you. When we did our boom, busts, and sleepers, and I had Odell as my boom for that division. I think that Odell is being underused in the offense, and I think they're going to put it together. They're going to put it together this year. I think Odell's he's going to blow up again. He's going to have a 1,200 yard season, in my opinion. Seeing him going around 8, 7, 8-ish, that's crazy to me. Now, I'm not going to reach him up. I think he's going to be the value of a 2nd or 3rd rounder, but I'm not going to draft him there just knowing everyone's taking him late. So if, you need a receiver and you're sitting in round 6, reach for him. No big deal. He's going to produce at the level above his draft position anyways if you get him in round 5 or 6. So I'm targeting Odell. If we play in a league together, just kind of forget I told you this. But I'm targeting Odell as my flex for most of my teams this year.
See, that's the hard thing about playing or talking about fantasy football is because everybody's watching. The people that you're playing in leagues with, your friends, your family, everybody's like, okay, I know what Shawn likes. Shawn wants to target Odell in the 5th round. I'm gonna take him 4th.
Yeah, I know, and that's why. I mean, sorry to anyone that's my viewers. I hold back a little bit sometimes. Save some, put them in my pocket.
Yeah, there's a couple of times where I'm like, I'm gonna put a story out. I'm like, nah, you know what? That was mine. I'll keep that.
I'm holding on to that one.
Let's see.
That's cool.
This guy, man, I saw somebody say that he was going to be comeback player of the year or possibly comeback player of the year. I don't know why I'm not high on him. I think because I did draft him and he got hurt and he didn't perform. And that's Juju Smith-Schuster. Would you take a flyer on him? 2nd round, I guess, because people are still taking him 2nd round. Are you comfortable taking him there?
It's crazy. Me and you agree on a lot of stuff. This is crazy because in the same predictions for the boom, bust, and sleeper, I have Juju as my bust. It's not that I think he's going to be terrible. I just don't think he's going to be a 2nd round guy. You know what I mean? And Big Ben's going to come back and he's going to sling a lot of yards around. But overall, I feel like he's not that crazy much better than Deontay Johnson and those guys. And they just drafted a young guy, I believe, Chase Claypool. I don't think he's like leaps and bounds ahead of those guys. They're going to take some targets. Deontay Johnson quietly led the team in all the categories last year. So, Juju was hurt, but still it shows that Deontay Johnson is going to be a part of this offense. I think Juju would be good if they were taking him in 3 or 4. I'm not taking him 2 though. There's no way.
See, I might even be comfortable 3rd round, late 3rd round.
Yeah.
But like you said, I did a big thing about Johnson a couple of weeks ago, or I think so. I think it was a couple weeks ago, but I talked about Johnson and how I think he's going to be like almost the number one guy on Pittsburgh. He should be,
Yeah.
especially with Big Ben. But I mean, they had no quarterback play last year, and he dominated.
Yeah.
And like you said, Claypool's there. They brought in Ebron, so they have more weapons. And I don't know. A lot of people say, well, Juju's in a contract year. Maybe the contract year will motivate him. But what if he gets hurt again? And then I just wasted another second round pick on him.
And I don't think Juju, just judging by his social media presence, he doesn't seem to be the guy that needs he's not worried about his contract year. He's getting paid.
Yeah, that's true.
He's getting paid.
And I don't know. And that's the hard part about doing fantasy advice, because sometimes when I do my own draft list, if I had a player that got hurt or underperformed, I always put them on the don't draft list or the lower.
You got a slight little man, this is a bad experience.
Kind of biased on Juju because I feel that he did me dirty last year. I mean, it's not his fault. Injuries aren't his fault, but when you're playing fantasy football, you always like, oh man, Juju, you did me dirty, but it is what it is.
Yeah, in the second round, you're talking a number one receiver in your team. Unless you drafted, DeAndre Hopkins or Michael Thomas, second round is that next tier.
Let me ask you this: are you in your fantasy leagues? Are you a trader? Do you like to trade a lot, or are you one of those guys that no trades at all? I don't like trades. We're doing it right here.
I do trade a lot. I trade a lot. So I'm in a dynasty league with one of my best friends from high school and his whole family. I took over the team my senior year of high school, and the team lost every game. And then they just kicked the owner out because he was not doing it. So I took over the team, and I just started out hauling. I had traded everyone. And now, we were second. It was second place last year, but it just shows that I basically traded the entire team. Traded the entire team and drafted Deshaun Watson to the team.
See, I did the same thing. I just because I play fantasy football for fun, and it's what everybody should be doing. If you play for money or if you play in a money league, the money should come secondary to the fun that you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
And to me, I just sit there and I'll be like, okay, I want to see so-and-so. I think he's going to go off this week. I'm going to trade for him. And that's and I'll make – I think last year I made – I don't know. I want to say 20 trades. It was wild. And it was in my league that I was in, it was one of the a very trade active league. And I think we saw the most trades we've ever did in a league. One year I think we had maybe 2 trades, and then last year it was crazy. Everybody was trading, and it was cool. And I liked it. And I have to post it one of these days, and I'm afraid to post it because it was so horrible. The draft that I had was so horrible, so horrible. But what I turned it into at the end of the season with just trades was amazing. And like I tell people, don't get stuck on names, because at one point I had Lamar Jackson. At one point I drafted Michael Thomas first round, but I traded both of them.
Wow.
But I wasn't afraid to make that move because I think I started 0-4, and I had to make the moves.
At that point, you got to do something. Yeah, you got to.
But I ended the season with Russell Wilson, which I'll take that. You know what I mean? I ended up with a good team. Ended up in the playoffs, which 0-4. You really shouldn't have made it to the playoffs, but I ended up doing it.
That's cool. That's cool.
But that's why I like to see if people like to trade like me, because I'm a trader. I just get bored.
Yeah, I probably offer every week. I'll even trade guys just to put them on my bench because I think they're going to do better in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? I'm like, they're probably going to do better in a couple weeks, so I'm going to trade for them now while the people don't, or whoever I'm trading with doesn't realize they're going to be good.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
So you shaved your co-host Renee's head when you guys got to 1,000 followers on Instagram. Do you have any plans for 2,000?
I got to do something at 2,000. I don't know what it's going to be. We're still thinking about it. I bet when we get to about 1,500, Renee's going to start bugging me about what I'm going to do.
Yeah, he wants to get you back. And I know you guys are big WWE fans. I say WWF because that's what I grew up with.
Yeah.
I saw him hit you with the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Have you recovered from it?
Yeah. We love having fun with it. Yeah, I'm good now. I can turn the lights on and everything. My concussion's gone.
That's a great thing about being a wrestling fan is like how much fun you can have with it. And I think people don't see that part of it. Like they always just like, hey, wrestling's fake. Yeah, but you don't see the trash talking that goes along with it. You don't see the fun that you could have, with any kind of wrestling event or just mimicking any of your favorite wrestlers and just
Yeah.
being like them. It's so much fun.
Well, it is a show. Those guys are athletes, though, still. I don't care what anyone says. The stuff those guys do in the ring is ridiculous sometimes. And they're putting their bodies on the line. Broken necks, broken arms, tearing their quads and hamstrings all the time. It's a serious thing. It's not football or anything like that. It is scripted, but those guys are actually doing athletic stuff still.
Yeah, and like you said, they're putting their body on the line just like anybody else. And
Yeah.
I would like to see a normal person take a chair shot to the back.
Yeah, or just take one bump off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, I'm cool on that. At one point in my life, I was like, I could probably be a wrestler, and then I think I went and watched it, and I was like, nah, they got this. They're good. They're good.
What's funny is I always wanted to be a wrestler when I was a kid too, and I never would practice or play around as if I'm the offensive guy. I would always be the one taking bumps from people. I don't know why. I like selling the move. So that's why I was the one that took the stunner.
See, I don't know. But when I was growing up, I had backyard wrestling was a big thing. I don't know if it was still big when you were a kid.
YouTube.
Was it you just watched it on YouTube?
Yeah, there's backyard wrestling on YouTube.
See, I lived it. We had the trampoline set up.
Oh, that's cool.
Music come out, and I ended up. We did a hardcore match, and we had a radio, and I jumped off the trampoline right onto the radio, and it broke and kind of went up in my foot. It was a lot of fun. So
that's cool.
I kind of that's my wrestling story. Like, I know how wrestlers go through. You know what I mean?
I went through a radio.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Like you said, wrestling is a fun thing, and I know you guys put a podcast up about the WWE. I know everybody's been talking right now about the Undertaker's retirement. I mean,
yep,
that guy went 30 years.
Yeah, I still don't think he's retired. I don't believe it. We'll see when he watches a Mania if he's retired.
Well, he's still signed to 14 more years. I think I read it, something like that. He just signed a 15-year contract. He only did 1 year. So, and they asked him, I go, if Vince calls you, are you going to show up? And he was kind of like, yeah, he's going to show up.
Yeah, I am.
It's like these guys can't walk away from it, even though they know their body's broken down.
They love it. They love it. They love it. And Taker can just come out and chokeslam somebody. It's not that big a deal for him. He just needs to understand he can't be getting in the ring with Brock Lesnar and all them.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, Shawn.
Man,
I think we hit everything. We hit baseball, football, wrestling, fantasy football. So I appreciate you guys coming on. If you guys
got you, man.
If you guys don't go check out CMon Man Sports, and you guys, I don't even know if you guys are a sports fan if you guys aren't following them.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we put out an episode every week, so if you guys want to just go and check out the old episodes and get ready for the next episodes, we're at CMon Man Sports across the board: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of it.
All right, guys, and I'll link that on there. Link everything on the bottom. You guys can check that all out. I'll even put it on here, so you guys are all good to find CMon Man Sports.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for.